Stanton T. Friedman's our guest, www.stantonfriedman.com. Stan, before we went to the break, we were talking about you were having coffee with Carl Sagan at his place in New York City, in the state of New York. New York State, yeah, and I was wondering if we could just finish that before we have to say so long for tonight.
I should say that we discussed the fact that he had a security clearance and stuff, and so people have suggested that, maybe he took Donald Menzel's place on the MJ-12 group. And Carl was never in the military, neither was I for that matter, but and he used to protest government operations, so I'm a little dubious about that, but maybe so. But, the Brookings Institute, way back in the early 60s, did a study on what would happen if there was contact with extraterrestrial intelligence. And one of the many conclusions was that the people who would be hurt the most by that was the scientific community, because it would take away their special status, at the top of the heap.
So is it possible?
Part of that.
Is it possible then that the cover-up has nothing to do with the government, but everything to do with the scientific community?
Well, I think the government does have a lot to do with it. On the intelligence side, the National Security Agency, I show a whole bunch of whited-out documents, the CIA with blacked-out documents. General Carol Bolander said that reports of UFOs, which could affect national security, are made in accordance with JNAP 146 and Air Force Manual 55-11 and are not part of the Blue Book system. He said that in 1969. That resulted in the closing of Project Blue Book. I talked to him about 10 years later. He meant exactly what it sounded like he meant. There were two separate channels, the hot stuff and the cold stuff, if you will. There's no question that there's been a cover-up by the government. Now, whether they care or don't care about the effect on scientists, I don't know. But certainly governments have to worry about staying in power. Remember, there is nobody who speaks for planet Earth. You may have noticed that. And there's no government that wants its citizens to think of themselves as Earthlings. Nationalism is the only game on this planet of ours, which is rather unfortunate because to the aliens, I'm sure, we're all Earthlings, like it or not. And so there are some major geopolitical things. There is a book, After Disclosure, A.D., which goes into some of these questions by Bryce Zabel and Richard Dolan. And I don't think they've adequately looked at the technological military consequences, if you will. Are we and the Russians both going to put everything we have out on the table? I don't think so. I haven't seen any signs of that kind of cooperation. Have you?
No, I haven't, Stan. But speaking about signs, I'm getting the sign from my producer on the other side of the glass that you and I have to say so long for now. Stan, as always, a great pleasure talking to you. Thank you for being there for each and every one of us and for getting out as much information as you do, and continued success. And I look forward to the next time you and I meet here in the X Zone.
Well, I look forward to it, too. Take
care, Stan. Exo Nation, Stanton T. Friedman has been my guest this hour. www.stantonfriedman.com. I'll be back on the other side of this commercial break with the news at 6.5 minutes past the hour as we continue from our studios here in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, the home of the X Zone with yours truly, Rob McConnell. Don't go away. We'll be back after the news.